Looking at the adorable little girl, Xiaojun's expression suddenly turned horrified. She saw the girl nearly getting hit by a car while crossing the street. Immediately after, a bicycle knocked her down in the middle of the road. As the girl got up, a truck suddenly approached. Xiaojun was stunned, unable to shake off her unease. She quietly followed the girl, and sure enough, the scene unfolded just as she had envisioned. First, the girl was almost hit by a car, then knocked down by the bicycle. At the same time, a truck was speeding towards them. In a moment of desperation, Xiaojun rushed forward without hesitation. At the critical moment, Xiaojun's husband appeared out of nowhere and saved her, while the girl finally made it safely off the road. It was at that moment Xiaojun realized she possessed the ability to foresee the future. The next day, she encountered the girl again in the elevator. As she was about to check on the girl's wounds, this time, she saw the girl knocking on her front door, followed by a boy ringing the doorbell. Then, her mother turned on the gas stove, and an explosion occurred. With the previous incident fresh in her mind, Xiaojun decisively followed the girl. She wanted to call for help, but in the next second, tragedy struck. Fortunately, both children were unharmed. On the third day, Xiaojun met a young woman in the elevator, and her vision appeared again. She saw the woman being pinned to the ground by a man with a scar on his chin. Xiaojun hurried over to warn the woman not to enter her apartment, as something bad was about to happen. However, the woman ignored her and went straight inside. At the same time, a fierce-looking man with a scar on his chin appeared in front of Xiaojun. To save the girl, Xiaojun followed the man into the elevator and, despite her fear, told him that if he were to beat the girl, she would definitely call the police. At that moment, the man revealed his brutal true colors and grabbed Xiaojun by the throat. Suddenly, Xiaojun saw the man's fate. He would be beaten to death and stuffed into a box. Before she could speak, the elevator arrived, and she was thrown out violently. Her husband appeared once again, embracing her tightly. Xiaojun was panic-stricken, repeatedly telling her husband that the man on the 7th floor would die. However, her husband still didn't believe her, insisting that nothing would happen and advising her to take medication, saying that she would feel better after a good night's sleep. In the middle of the night, Xiaojun woke up and found herself inexplicably drawn to the 7th floor. As expected, she heard the girl's cries for help coming from inside the apartment. Just as she was about to ring the doorbell, she heard several muffled thuds. Frightened, she hid in the stairwell. At that moment, a man wearing a hat emerged, dragging a suitcase. Through the door crack, she realized the man was none other than her own husband. Due to copyright restrictions, this Korean film can only be shown up to this point. The movie's title is Memories of Tomorrow.